Hey guys, it's 2024, it's a new year. I hope it will be great. We're gonna start off by talking about the essential equipment that you can find in any commercial studio around the world. And the first one that we're gonna talk about today is the 1176 compressor. The 1176 compressor was invented by a guy named Bill Putnam, a sound engineer and producer who started out in the early 30s. He's a founder of Universal Audio, and he was also the inventor of LA610 preamp and the LA2A compressor and the predecessor to the 1176, the 175B and 176 Varimu compressor. He's also known as the first one to have used artificial reverberation by using an echo chamber. The famous producer Bruce Swedien, who produced Michael Jackson's Thriller, the best-selling album in history, said that Bill Putnam was the father of recording as we know it today. The 1176 was actually a modern take on Bill's early invention, the 175 and 176 compressor, which was an all-tube compressor. The 1176, however, was a solid-state FET compressor with no tubes in it whatsoever. FET, or FET, stands for Field Effective Transistor. It was released in 1968 as a true peak limiter with an all-transistor circuitry. The 1176 stood out with its super fast attack time of only 20 microseconds, and that's actually 0.00002 seconds. And just as the 175B and the 176, the 1176 didn't have any threshold control, just input and output. The amount of compression is controlled with the input level. The harder the signal, the more compressed the signal gets. And the whole ratio thing was kind of unique for its time. It is 4:1 and 8:1 for compression, and 12:1 and 20:1 for limiting. Because of the super fast attack and release times of the 1176, it became an instant favorite with producers around the world. There's hardly anything the 1176 can't do. It can compress gentle and low setting, and it could be driven hard with the result of heavy compressed signal with a lot of distortion. It could limiting and tame all of them huge peaks, especially good on fast transients like drums and percussion. But it's also good to limit and compress vocal, especially when combining two in a stereo. It's often common to use one as 20:1 ratio for the peaks and the other 4:1 for a more normal compressed signal. Now, by using the attack time and the release time differently, you could really change and mold the sound. You could, for example, make a snare fast and hard and slow and soft, depending on what type of attack and release setting you are using. The 1176 is great for manipulating sounds, and I couldn't live without it. I use it daily on drums, vocals, acoustic guitars and electric guitars, and of course bass guitars and percussion. One thing that producer discovered by accident was the all-button trick. If you press all the ratio button in at once, the ratio will be somewhere between 12:1 and 20:1, but the bias points will change. And this will result in a different attack and release time, and also the compression curve will change. And this will give the compressor a lot of distortion and that special trademark of 1176 style overdriven tone. The all-button sound is really good on a drum room and has parallel compression on just about anything, and especially on kick and snare. Now, there are many analog clones or styles of the 1176 compressor out there. I myself have the Warm Audio, the Klark Teknik KT76, and the Lindell Audio 17XS. And they all sound like an 1176 with just minor tonal differences. And one thing you need to know is that even the real 1176 comes with different tonal depending on what revision you got. It ranges from revision A to H and all in between. The producer Chris Lordalgi has used a revision A, also known as the blue stripe, on vocals for all his mixes throughout his career. The revision A is known to have a little more distortion than other revisions. Even the great mixer Bob Clearmountain has used an 1176 on snare for almost every album he ever mixed. And to sum it all up, it doesn't matter what studio in the world you are visiting, you will find an 1176 in the racks because it's one of the essential things in any recording studio all over the world. Hit the like button, please subscribe, Next time, we'll talk about the LA2A. Bye.